Hey, World History class, this is Coach Gault. This is the review video for our World History final quiz. I'm going to be reviewing the notes from the past few weeks. This quiz is 10 questions, all multiple choice. It should be pretty straightforward. Right after you watch this video, I recommend taking the quiz. I'm going to start with the week 5 notes, and then there were 2 note sets from last week. And again, I'm just going over stuff that's on the quiz. One thing that's on the quiz is the definition of fascism. And so fascism stresses the importance of the state. So basically, the state and the government is more important than the individual. It's emphasis obeying the leader, and it's very harsh control. So this is how Hitler, we did that lesson on Hitler where you look at how Hitler rose to power. And I hope that gave you a good kind of sense of how fascism works. It's more like a mind control thing. It's not like he just came in and with these radical ideas to kill the Jews, but it kind of slowly got to that, and people were just obeying their leader at that point. They're just following orders. So the definition of fascism is going to be on there. Hitler is going to be on there as well. Make sure you can identify Hitler as the German dictator. He spread Nazism, and then he led to the genocide of the Jewish people. Another definition from this PowerPoint is totalitarianism. And so totalitarianism and authoritarianism are very closely related. And so all of these people that we looked at before, so in Germany with Hitler, in Italy with Mussolini, and Joseph Stalin and the Soviet Union, all of these guys are all considered totalitarian dictators. So make sure that you get that down. One thing they all have in common is they're all totalitarian dictators. Moving on to the second set of notes, there's not as many questions from this set of notes as the others. Oh, wrong one. This set. This is kind of events leading up to World War II. And one thing that Germany does is, so Hitler's goal into unifying Germany is he's bringing all the German-speaking people back together. And so there's this little part, and it was part of Czechoslovakia, and it had German-speaking people. And so Germany basically goes and is basically threatening to attack Czechoslovakia. And so the leaders of Britain, France, and Italy, they use this policy of appeasement. And so they meet in this Munich conference. So some of the key words you're going to need to know is Munich conference. They'll be on there, and appeasement is going to be on there. And basically, when you appease somebody, that basically means that you're just kind of like letting them have what they want. So it's kind of like that little kid, at the grocery store who's screaming because he wants his toy, and his mom says no, and his mom says no, his mom says no. Well, to appease that little kid to stop screaming, the mom might say like, "Okay, fine, you can have the toy." That's basically what happened in this case, except the toy was Sunderland, and the little kid was Hitler, and he ended up taking more and taking more and taking more, eventually leading to World War II. So make sure from this one, Munich Conference and appeasement, you connect those two things. Most of the quiz is coming from this World War II PowerPoint. I'm going to go through this major stuff that's going to be on there. One major thing to know about World War II is there are 2 theaters of World War II. There's the European theater and the Pacific theater, so you're going to need to know both of those names for the quiz. So the European theater, we're focusing right here in Europe. We're fighting the Nazis, we're fighting Mussolini and the Italians. And in the Pacific theater, the United States is fighting against Japan and the Japanese Empire. This event is definitely on the quiz. It's one of the most important events in U.S. history, and it was the attack on Pearl Harbor. And so the United States Japan brings the United States into the war with this attack on Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor's in Hawaii, and so the United States is going to join the war and declare war on Japan after this battle. Again, just going over stuff simply on the. Hang on a second. Yeah, simply on the quiz, we have the Battle of Midway. So the Battle of Midway is going to happen in 1942, and so this is where the United States is really going to kind of punch back at the Japanese after Pearl Harbor. The United States is going to be victorious. We're going to sink 4 of the Japanese aircraft carriers, and then another term you're going to need to know from the Island of Midway or Battle of Midway is island hopping. And so island hopping is just this idea that the United States is going to be hopping from island to island to island to try to get closer to Japan to make bombing runs on mainland Japan. Eventually, how the war in the Pacific ends is with the atomic bomb, as most of us know. So you're going to need to know President Truman. So FDR is going to die of polio. And President Harry Truman is going to kind of step up, and he's going to decide that there's only one true way to defeat Japan without stepping on their soil, and that's the atomic bomb. So there are going to be 2 atomic bombs dropped on mainland Japan on 2 cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And after this, Japan is going to surrender, and it's going to force the surrender of the Japanese army. Again, I recommend watching this video and then taking the quiz. If you have any questions, please email me and let me know. Hope you all have a good day.